Welcome to Are You Afraid of the Dork, Season 1, Episode 5. I'm your horrid host, Mr. Dork, and in the spirit of the season I come bearing gifts, namely, that of my very presence. Wait, did I say gifts, plural? Well, that was just one, wasn't it? Well, guess that just means I'll have something to give you all next year. Blah, 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 blah. Today's tale, it's called The Real Monster. And its contents, well, let's just say they're downright monstrous themselves. Fair warning before we begin. What follows contains some elements some listeners might find disturbing, including a bunch of 100% accurate, painstakingly researched, and true-to-life depictions of small-town folk, a kid named Ben showing up for a second time, and a dog in a hot car, which gets zero play in the story, but that we all must nonetheless tragically reckon with the fact it exists, nonetheless. If any of these aforementioned aspects disturb you, leave now or forever hold your peace with the fact that the material to come just might scar you for life. Now, without further ado, this week's featured tale. The Real Monster. At long last, the beast was cornered. After weeks of concerning reports, days of investigation, hours of giving chase, minutes worth of collective jeering, and seconds worth of poking sticks at it, the beast behind so heinous a crime was finally cornered, with its back against the drugstore mirror wall. "How do you plead?" cried the townspeople in unison. "Guilty," answered the mayor on behalf of the big green monster. "Very well," responded the townspeople in unison. "Then you must pay for your crimes." At this, the monster only wept and wailed, tears streaming down its great big polka-dotted head. "We can tell they're guilty because they look like that," remarked a local police officer. At this, all the townspeople nodded and mumbled in agreement amongst one another. "Why is it green, anyways? Is it trying to camouflage itself? Perhaps to steal something?" mused the town physician. "That sounds likely to me," quipped a reporter. And so it came to be that the big green monster was bound and marched through the city streets, until at long last the humble angry mob of several hundred or so had at last made their way to the eerily still-erected town noose. Once more, "How do you plead?" cried the townspeople in unison once again. "Innocent!" declared the monster through its sobbing. "It's innocent! It's saying it's innocent, which only means it's guilty," screamed the town physician. "She's right! If the monster really was so innocent, then why would it be so desperate to defend itself?" questioned the town reporter. At this, a new series of angry grumblings and dissatisfied murmurs worked their way through the crowd. "It really did eat our son's homework. And our son," said Timmy's parents. "And it probably ate my cat," bemoaned Miss Lindsay. "I bet it caused the drought last year," reasoned Mr. Mahoney. Monsters are bad," mumbled Ben in his sleep miles away. So it came to be that the case against the hideous green monster was growing more stacked against it by the very second. At this, things were looking bad indeed for the town's resident 7'6" closet-dwelling monster. And deservedly so. I mean, it was a monster, after all. I'm the narrator, and even I know those are generally bad. "Is there a judge present who can perform a proper sentencing?" inquired the mayor. Yeah, I'm actually a judge," alleged one of the formerly indistinguishable angry mob members. "Really? You're a judge? But you're not in your robes," observed the mayor. "Well, I'm not in them all the time. That would be silly," the judge contended. "And as a teacher, I don't just go to sleep in the school overnight after the students go home. volunteered Mr. Mahoney. That sounds suspicious. I'm going to have to mark you down for an appointment later, noted another police officer to Mr. Mahoney. No, Mr. Mahoney is a man. As a physician, it's a common medical fact that men are incapable of being suspicious, maintained the physician. In my expert opinion, the expert opinion of this expert with an opinion is right, insisted the journalist. And what of the monster? Asked the mayor. Now that we have confirmed you're a judge, do you think you would be able to make a pronouncement here and now? Oh, didn't you hear me earlier, crying in unison with the crowd? They're guilty and must pay for their crimes, chimed the judge. Ah, cool, replied the mayor. And how will they do that? By hanging of the neck until dead? Proposed the town gynecologist. Correct, beamed the judge. Very well. Justice has spoken. Monster, as mayor of this town, I sentence you to hang by your neck until death for your crimes of eating Timmy's homework, eating Timmy, trying to steal things, among other predictably monstrous crimes. Now, given that we have already established beyond reasonable doubt that you're guilty, nothing you say means anything to us anymore. But if you would like to make a closing statement for this proceeding, by all means, proclaimed the mayor. Forsooth, cried the monster. It was a gentle and lowly sooth. One could foresee it, bubbling up in the monster's esophagus, a sooth like not that of any other, or rather, one most unlike the likeliest of likely lulls that lap around the larynx like the low-key lumbering lollygasms they are not. And it was said that so fine a sooth was never foresawn before or since the monster's cry. But it was not enough, and the town, who didn't have feelings, was as unmoved as its townspeople, who did. So it came to be that at long last the monster was in position to be hanged, but before the town physician could do so much as flip the lever to the trapdoor thingy, there was a last-minute interruption, and all because the town pastor made the mistake of saying, "Speak now or forever hold your peace." A single voice pierced the silence. "Wait! Don't do it! The monster is innocent!" It was Timmy, decidedly alive and very much not eaten. "Timmy!" his parents cried out before locking eyes and passionately making out right in front of everyone. "What brings you here, son?" they both asked in between mouthfuls of each other. "The monster isn't the real monster. I am. I'm the one who ate my homework. I'm the one who ate Miss Lindsay's cat. And it was me who caused that drought last year," cried Timmy. "I'm so sorry. Will you all find it in your hearts to forgive me?" "Wait, that still doesn't explain who ate little Timmy. Someone's still got to be on the hook for that one," asserted the town physician. "Ah, actually, I think that's him right in front of us," gently chided the town reporter. "Oh, so it is," hastily responded the town physician, now a little embarrassed. "Timmy isn't the real monster. I am," Mr. Mahoney proclaimed. "I shouldn't have assigned that boy so much homework."
"Mr. Mahoney isn't the real monster. It's me," insisted Miss Lindsay. "My cats are notoriously poorly socialized and mean. If only they'd been nicer, then maybe this whole thing could have been avoided."
"Hold up. None of you are the real monster," remarked the town reporter. "The real monster was that jerk physician over there who was egging everyone on." "Oh, yeah?" responded the physician. "Well, what if I told you the real monster was your mother for being so stinking ugly? Who knows? Maybe your ugliness drove little Jimmy over there to do all those things." "Leave his chronically ill mother out of this," rebuked the town pastor. "Besides, if anyone is responsible, it's most likely that Ben kid. He's got a family of godless atheists. Where is he, anyways?" Now, gently responded the mayor. Well, I agree as much as anyone that atheists are unprincipled, immoral people with few redeeming qualities. The fact remains that Ben is asleep. I peered through his window on the way over, so I would know. Thank you for always looking out for us, Mayor, exclaimed the town secretary. You're welcome. You've been a good girl lately. We'll have to romance each other later in a private place, whispered the mayor in a sultry and secretive tone that somehow only the intended recipient heard. But back to the topic at hand. I think I'm the most real monster of all. After all, I'm the mayor here, responsible for everything that goes on in this city. It stands to reason that I'm just as responsible for the crimes Timmy committed as he is himself. No, Mayor, decried the town gynecologist. The truth is, I haven't been doing my job as well as I could be. Your decreased ability to stay on top of town affairs is likely a natural consequence of my shoddy work on your secretary. If only I didn't have knives for fingers. Then I could do God's work again instead of the devil's with my magic hands. I'm the real monster. You're no monster, mused the monster. I am, in a literal sense. But in terms of character, I'm actually pretty okay. You might be a monster, but I'm the real monster, said the town police chief. I work for the police, which means I'm responsible by association for every bad thing the police have ever done in this country. The looming threat of my cruel and vindictive attitude towards lawbreakers likely caused little Timmy there to spiral, leading him further down his path of crime. Perhaps the real monster was society all along, uttered the town stupid one. At this, Timmy, the monster, the judge, and the mayor all solemnly nodded. It was clear that this answer rang most true of all, and nothing more needed to be said. As a philosophy professor, I must say, "Shut up!" cried the townspeople in unison, as was the customary course of action before the philosopher could say anything too terribly dumb, which was often. And so it was that the town police chief proceeded to divide up the judge's original punishment of hanging by the neck until death evenly amongst all the townspeople, herself included, until it came to be that all were given a single fibre of rope and a minute to have their best go at it. But, through some divine work of Providence, everyone except the town serial killer survived. The end.
Oh, I do love me a measured and tasteful display of small-town justice, almost as much as I like other things, such as butterflies and hope, and everyone getting perhaps I've said too much. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, this is your ever-mysterious and not in the least bit compensating for anything Dark Lord, reminding you that my true form could melt your face, and my story was great, but also that you probably have a lot more to offer the world than you yet realize, and that I wish you all a lovely week. Happy holidays!